Hello guys, how are you today? And welcome to another episode of F1 in a Week, bringing you the latest Formula 1 news. Before I get into it, I just want to make clear that any Grand Prix previews or reviews will not be in the F1 in a Week episodes. I'm going to be talking about other F1 news, and obviously there will be separate preview and then review videos around the time of the race. So, let's talk about F1 news now. Rumour has it that McLaren are going to explore having a Mercedes engine. Now, that's an interesting situation because obviously Honda have seemingly failed them, and it'd be sad, really, to see the partnership separate again because McLaren Honda is a very historical racing partnership. As we know, from the 1980s with Ayrton Senna and Prost. I think we all know all about that. Very exciting, big deal. And everyone was hoping for a similar situation now with Honda back in the sport. But it looks like there's a chance that soon McLaren might be going back to the Mercedes engine. Yes, they did have that in recent years as I was growing up, when Lewis Hamilton was there, and before that as well, when they had Raikkonen and Coulthard and Montoya as the drivers. And yes, it looks like McLaren are going to go back to Mercedes. And the issue with that is, ultimately, then, if Mercedes Works team thinks McLaren can be a threat, the engine McLaren is going to have won't be as good. And yes, it will be better than the Honda engine, but if Honda can fix their issues, they could beat Mercedes. But the Mercedes team won't give McLaren an engine that will let them beat the Mercedes team. So I sort of think it's sort of going to hold back McLaren. And yes, of course, they could go to Renault for an engine, but that doesn't seem to be as good. And I don't think Ferrari would give McLaren an engine, the two most historical rivals in the sport. I think, in terms of constructors, I think that is, they are the two biggest rivals in the sport. And I guess it's something we'll have to play out, but I guess we have to see a McLaren Honda do in this season. Also in F1 news, potential female racing driver Susie Wolff lost her appeal against a driving ban. She was caught speeding in the United Kingdom, and she's been banned from driving on the road, which, considering she wants to be a racing driver, is sort of embarrassing. And she has a lot of charity work trying to get women into F1, so it's a pretty depressing thing for her. But I still feel strongly we need a woman racing driver, but at the same time, if she's caught speeding, I would start to understand why Susie Wolff shouldn't be the first female racing driver. Anyway guys, I've sort of updated you on current F1 news. Not a lot this week because most of it is build up to the race. So now, I want to talk to you about my other thing where I talk about what's happening this week in previous years. So, on the 18th of March 2007, Lewis Hamilton took part in his first ever F1 race. He came third on that day. Remember, he overtook double world champion Fernando Alonso, his teammate, around the outside of turn 1. Now that's brave. Anyway, that race that day was held by Kimi Raikkonen, who was making his debut for Ferrari. As we know, he won the race that year and the World Championship, adding to what I was saying about the winner of the first race often going on to winning the championship. And yes, obviously that's a big day for Lewis Hamilton. He's been in the sport 10 years now. It's hard, it's gone so quickly, as I'm sure you'd agree. Anyway, also worth talking about, of course, 21st of March, Ayrton Senna was born. Legend of the sport, I'm sure you'll agree. I know I said I wanted to make this F1 on this week type of thing based on recent things in my lifetime, but Ayrton Senna, I can't miss that one out. I thought about whether I'd include it. I cannot miss it out. Him being born on the 21st of March 1960. Such a legend of the sport. Won a championship 3 times. Brilliant, wheel-to-wheel racing. Lots of emotion. He did lots of charity work. Really special man. And I think everyone agrees that the saddest thing to ever happen on F1 was his big crash and sad death in 1994 in the San Marino Grand Prix. He is such a legend of the sport. Anyway, also on the 21st of March in 2004, Jenson Button got his first ever podium F1 career. He got this at the Malaysian Grand Prix, which was the second race that season. Of course, we know now that the Malaysian Grand Prix is much later in the calendar, but as we know, until 2016, it was towards the start of the season. And big day for him. He'll never forget that day. Probably, apart from the day when he won his championship and the day when he won his first Grand Prix in 2006, that must be pretty high up in the highlights of his F1 career. Anyway guys, I'm coming towards the end of the video, so tell me in the comments what you think about the whole Honda, Mercedes, McLaren type of thing. And also, what is your favourite Lewis Hamilton moment? My favourite moment probably has to be him winning in 2014, the 2014 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. What's your favourite moment? Tell me in the comments, and I'll be back soon. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. If you have anything to say about this video, please leave a comment in the comments section below. If you really enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this and other types of videos, please subscribe to my channel. Also go and check out the video that should be on screen right now. And on that note, I'll just ask you to follow me on Twitter at BigGaming342 and like my Facebook page, BigGaming342, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.